We all love lavender in our gardens, and I'm with Sarah at Lavender at Stonegate. And you know, I think you are the #1 expert here. You have that wonderful book that really is so helpful, but we want to show people how to prune them, because sometimes I see lavender in landscape and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do now. And so you really have a lot of tips to help us along with that.
Yes. Well, Judy, yeah, that's probably the #1 question that we get asked here is how to prune lavender. And it's really tough because sometimes you'll buy this sweet little plant in the store and they're blooming and gorgeous and you want to put them in your landscape because you want that instant gratification. But unfortunately what happens is when the blooms come in, it stresses the plant. So if you don't take those blooms off, then you're not going to get a plant that's going to look good, say, in years to come. So what you want to do when you get, say, a 4-inch plant or a gallon plant is you want to give it just a little prune before you put it in the ground. So if we're going to pretend this is blooming, it's a good idea to sacrifice the blooms in the beginning. So I just kind of come in and give it just a little trim here, because what that does is it promotes that new growth. So anytime you give it a little pruning, it's going to allow that new growth that's down here to come in and fill in the plant. So then when you plant it, you want it to look like that.
But in years to come, it's really going to be so much better because the plant will be longer lived. It's not going to splay open or get woody.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. So say this is a 2nd-year plant. This is a gallon plant. And this one's actually been pruned properly. So see how it has that really nice mound-like appearance, which is what you want. You want that new growth to be coming in from down below. And then what that does is after it blooms, then you can take your blossoms off and you still have that nice shaped mound.
Right. Okay, and then what about this one? So this is an older one. What would we do if this is my garden this year?
Right.
What do I do?
Well, there's different schools of thought. You can either prune it in the fall or you can prune it in the spring. Some people prefer to prune it in the fall because then they don't have to necessarily come back in the spring and prune it again. Personally, after it blooms, I like to give it a good trim because then what it does is it promotes that new growth to come in, and then it looks nice going into the winter. But if your plant looks like this, sometimes what you can do is just kind of go in and take off some of the little strays and just kind of give it that mounding-like appearance. And then what happens is, again, you're going to encourage that new growth, and then when the blooms come in, it'll be a nice uniform bloom.
So Sarah, you're just cutting off a few of the strays, but are you sacrificing those blooms?
No, because depending on the plant, you're going to get your bloom in the summer anyway. Because what you're doing is just giving it a little prune and encouraging that new growth to come in. And what that does is it'll probably bloom at the time that you want it to. Different lavenders bloom at different times. There's some that bloom once, there's some that bloom a few times, and then some bloom earlier, some bloom later. So really, if you start doing it now, let's say, and the thing about Oregon that's nice is we don't really get those hard freezes, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. They're not going to necessarily stress the plant to the point where it won't make it if you do give it a good prune. So
now what about if I didn't do any of this and it's looking pretty woody? Can I just cut it back like any kind of shrub to dead wood, like to wood with no foliage?
You don't know what you want. My rule of thumb is I say 2 inches above the wood. So you want to leave at least maybe 2 inches of some kind of green or foliage. Just because if you cut all the way into the wood, the likelihood of it coming back is not that good.
Well, you need to come out to Lavender at Stonegate and get some more lavender, or else you also have an online store, so you can go to your website and order online.
Yes, we sell lavender in 6-packs, and we have our new culinary 6-pack this year that you can order. So yeah, so go ahead and do that, or you can come out to our farm.
Well, great. Really a lot of good information. If you have any other questions, please contact Lavender at Stonegate and get all your questions answered. Well, thanks.
Thank you, Judy.